Yo, what's up, everyone? It is Tuesday, the 7th of October, 2014, and I am your host, Ant-Man. And today is probably one of the most exciting news days that I've had in a while because, I wake up. Well, before I woke up, last night I was researching. I stayed up late researching because I was just fascinated upon, when you have like those moments for those people out there that actually that actually think independently and they actually take time to research things and really think about things. Yeah, it's rare. But anyway, when you stumble upon one of those things that it just fascinates you and it just puts more pieces of the puzzle, the grand picture together for you. I had one of those moments last night. And I stayed up just researching a bunch of stuff and I thought it was cool. But I think it's an interesting day for news because we have we have prophecies in the news today. We have gigantic news from people, and I just want to just pretty much, I don't want to try to play it up too much, but all I'm saying is that you're hearing from all kinds of different people a lot of different things today, and they're bold, like to say the things that they're saying. For one, Josh Tolley this morning said that World War III could be starting any moment now. And if you really truly understand what warfare is, and that it's all over money, then you know that it doesn't have to be looking like World War II for you to understand that it doesn't need to look like World War II for it to be starting already. Anyways, the second thing is that tomorrow is the second blood moon. Yeah. We have people that write these books and stuff about the four blood moons and all these prophetic signs and wonders and all that. The simple Christians that just like to go to church on Sunday don't accept anything anyone ever has to say about stuff like this. They don't believe in Bible codes. They don't believe in nothing. They go to church to be like to say stuff to regurgitate stupid sayings like Jeremiah was a bullfrog. I'm sorry, man, but it's true though. You know what I mean? It's disturbing that that's the kind of stuff you see at church, and it's never about serious talk or very in-depth, like insightful, like Bible studies and stuff. It's never about that. It's always just about saying the same stupid jokes over and over again. Pray for me because I really love church, but it's like what Gandhi said. If it wasn't for the Christians, I'd be a Christian. But I know Jesus Christ, so I don't need Christians to give me faith in God. God gives me faith in God. Anyways, and the third thing here is that Michael Savage, and this is what's in front of me right now, Michael Savage he's sounding the trumpet, if you will. Michael Savage, 1 month left to save America. Let's see what he's on to here. This is from WND.com. New prophetic book warns nation ahead of midterms. You got a picture here of Barack Hussein Obama. I don't know, man. As long as you got a guy in a suit and he's a elected official, everybody's still gonna believe everything he says, right? There is a strong delusion on this country right now, people. And if you cannot see through the lies that are so obvious, and if you cannot see the occult symbolism in the mainstream media nowadays, I am more than concerned for you and more than persuaded to believe that you are being deceived and you are being let to be deceived. And that, my friend, is something for you to consider, man, because this isn't like a hobby. This isn't my hobby. I'm not doing this because one day I'm going to be like, haha, I told you so. I'm not doing it for none of that. I'm not doing it for any type of recognition. I'm doing it because I feel like nobody talks about this stuff. And I'm the only one, I feel like I'm the only one in the world that sees this stuff. And it's just, to me, mind-boggling that nobody sees it. And it reminds me of the Bible because it's like there is a strong delusion on us nowadays. And we are in the end times. And people cannot tell a liar for what a liar is. They don't even know what a liar is these days. People don't understand occultism. And the Christians nowadays don't want to even, dive into that type of studying that the Christian church has been fighting heretics since the 1st century. There have been trolls in the church since the 1st century, you guys. It's not anything new. People trying to mix pagan occultism with Christianity. And we see it today too. But anyways, here's the article I'm going to get into. When Barack Obama introduced himself at the 2004 Democratic National Convention declaring there was only one America, not a liberal America and a conservative America, and not a black America and white America, many instantly envisioned him as a future presidential candidate with a unique heritage and extraordinary rhetorical skills that would enable him to unite a nation divided over political ideology and race. I wasn't very informed in 2008, even though I voted for McCain. I know, lesser of two evils, right? But, when I look back in it, I realized how much I really didn't understand. I was working at Urban Outfitters, and we were selling those propaganda Barack Obama t-shirts with the half red, half blue, old Soviet Russia type of propaganda. We were selling that, and I didn't, I kind of fell for it like everyone else. Like, he's the Messiah. He's the guy that's going to turn America around. And he ended up being the Antichrist. He ended up being like the guy who wanted to take us down from the inside out. And it's just kind of, to me, like, I feel like I'm going crazy because nobody believes this stuff. And it's so obvious. It's so obvious, man. Ideologies are the danger in society because it's not... guns kill people and all that, but ideas are way more dangerous than you know what I mean? Some things that, can just take you up. Because, ideas are like what creates things like ISIS and that are like killing Syrians every day, And, so let me just get back into this. Not long into his presidency, however, it became apparent to many, including some liberals, that Obama's leadership and policies had only exacerbated the divisions. Most attributed his failures to simple incompetence, but Michael Savage saw something much more sinister happening in his new book, Stop the Coming Civil War. He charges Obama is deliberately dividing the country. You think? I don't know, man. I'm not... When you become an investigator and stuff like that, you don't believe in coincidence and that kind of stuff anymore. It's just... that people... if you are a Christian, you should know that people are inherently evil. And that we are liars. You're a liar if you say you've never lied before. You just lied. Everybody does it. When you're a kid and you get into the cookie jar and your mom sees chocolate on your fingers and she asks you if you got any cookies, you're going to get in trouble, what do you say? No. So why is it hard to believe that a grown man will lie for political advantages and gain and special interests and stuff like that? Why is that hard to believe? Don't you think power is a little more corrupting than money is? I think power is probably much more tempting to be corrupt than having a lot of money is, because it's just like any other thing that's an insatiable... It cannot satisfy your insatiable desires. The more money you have, probably the more money you want. The more power you have, probably the more power you want, until you're absolutely out of your mind. At the time Savage finished the manuscript, several months ago, many continued to mock the provocative notion that any president would purposely damage the nation. But recent events, including the flood of Central American illegal aliens and the entry of the Ebola virus to the U.S., have made Stop the Coming Civil War, Savage's 30th book, seem prophetic. Meanwhile, an increasing number of bewildered Democrats are distancing themselves from Obama. And they have a picture of him in 2004 here, much younger Obama here at a Democratic National Convention. Excuse me. In his concluding chapter, Savage bluntly states his book, published by Center Street Books, is about the conflict the current administration is pushing in the name of a broader worldwide liberal revolution. As I see it, the forces of the left are attempting nothing less than a socialist takeover of the world economy and global politics, he writes. Well, yeah, China's buying us out, taking all our jobs, taking them overseas, shutting down power plants, the coal mining power plants, the clean ones. For some reason, people think it's a good idea to invest in nuclear power plants, even though we got one leaking in Fukushima right now. You see, and I'm just going to repeat what Josh Tolley said today because he hit it right on the head. Instead of people wanting to go out and do their own research, they'll just believe any guy in a suit that's an elected official. And everybody just wants to think that they're smart, but they just want to get their information from people who think that they're actual thinkers, but didn't go through that process, even though they have letters before their name. They're just highly paid. Like, they're just paid to say what they say, and when they have their suit and their stupid letters before their name, it's just, oh, they must be right, and that means that I don't have to do any work to figure out the truth. So good. And no, everybody just follows the masses. The blind lead the blind, and they both fall into a pit. That's my favorite line in the Bible to describe that. As I see it, oh yeah, I just wrote that. Alright, just read that. In an interview with WND, Savage said his publisher recently expressed to him amazement that everything you said was going to happen or would happen is happening this minute. Savage sees it as deductive logic. Obama's been engaged in a civil war from the day he seized the presidency, Savage told WND. He said he's going to transform America. What was that? What was that declaration? It's a declaration of war against the country's traditional values and freedoms. Liberals love to hate America. If you're patriotic, it's like you're a bigot and you're for all this stuff that's not true. It was clear what he was going to do, but everyone was dancing around the golden calf, he said. I mean, if you saw Ben Affleck talk about Islam the other day, that's a perfect example of that liberal mindset, because they like, indoctrinate you in this country to hate your own country. It's like, that's what you're sending your kids to go learn at public school these days, is how bad America is. Why we should let, everybody else's culture influence us and hate our own heritage. And I've studied American and Western heritage. I have certificates in this. But why don't we learn the right way, the liberal arts way? Why don't we learn our history the right way? It's because there's an agenda behind it. And that agenda is socialist. It is socialist. And it's to get us all to be this democracy when we're a republic. Democracies always fall into despotism because of majority tyranny. What do you see going on today with the homosexuals? They're running around trying to get marriage legalized for themselves, and the judges are ignoring the will of the people, and they're giving this small minority in our country the right to just push everybody around and bully tactics. You're a bigot if you don't let people marry whoever they want. I'm a bigot? How do you come up with I'm a bigot because I don't accept that type of lifestyle? I don't have to accept your lifestyle. Who are you to tell me that I have to rub your back and tell you how innocent you are and how okay it is to... No, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to massage your ego or tell you that you're accepted in society. Like, I'm going to treat you like a human being. I'm going to show you some love and compassion, but I'm not going to accept your lifestyle. In the eyes of my God, that is an abomination. And I hate evil. I don't hate you, but I hate evil. And I know that evil, it influences people to do the wrong thing, and that you guys are just chasing the cravings of the flesh, and you're not really, you're lost, man. And you know what, I feel for you guys out there, but it's just, somebody's got to say it, man. You're not in your right mind if you think that that's a civil right of yours to go around pushing me around, telling me I have to accept your lifestyle and let you demolish the covenant marriage that God gave to human beings, the Imago Dei. This is an Imago Dei issue, just like Matt Chandler says. This is an Imago Dei issue, like pornography is, like this homosexuality thing is, because we are made in the image of God. We have to honor that. If you're not honoring how God made you, then you are going against that Imago Dei image of God, having to honor that thing, and you're that is a bad thing, man. That brings judgment on a nation, just to let you know. That does bring judgment on a nation. Sodom and Gomorrah was a sign to future generations that this is what happens to people when they become immoral, when the entire nation doesn't want to repent. This is what happens. Your finances are going to go down, your prosperity is going to go down, your liberty is going to go down, and you're going to ultimately go into exile or be destroyed. And you guys don't want to believe in this stuff because you're just too busy watching Dancing with the Stars or something, right? So, As WND reported, Savage told his listeners last week that Ebola has now come to the U.S. because of Obama's open borders policy, which also has allowed once eradicated diseases to enter through Central American illegal alien minors who are being placed in public schools nationwide. Savage said the worst part of the story is that if Obama is allowed to continue, this country doesn't survive. He noted Vice President Joseph Biden's statement at the John F. Kennedy's Forum at Harvard last Thursday that the post-World War II order is literally fraying at the seams. What was he trying to say, Savage asked. Was he playing like he's suddenly discovered what he's done to the country, and now he's triangulating his opposition to make believe he's the savior? Well, that's what the government always does. It's problem, reaction, solution. They cause the problems, they control the reaction, and they provide the solution. It's a Hegelian dialectic. It's a false paradigm also type of thing, where it's Democrat versus Republican, and even to the point where people are so stupid that they go Republican versus Republican now. And it's just like they don't understand that doesn't have any... It's just stupid. They treat like Congress like it's a football game. But anyway, they always do that. And that's what Obama is going to do. He's going to cause the problems, and he's going to pose as the savior. A lot of people think he's going to declare martial law because of Ebola, and that he's gonna supersede his 2 presidency term deal, and he's gonna violate the Constitution once again. It's not just a joke, he told WND. We're at the end of the road here. I don't want to live in a Venezuela under a dictatorship and look back 40 years and say why didn't someone stop him? In January, Savage told his listeners of his work on the book, calling the things he was discovering frightening, and concluding, the more I get into it, the worse it looks for us. Hey, you guys, this isn't a game. This isn't my hobby to be telling you this, man. This is like, I want people to wake up. I want you to wake up. I want you to wake up. And I'll say it again, because seriously, you need to wake up. This isn't a little issue. This has to do with your life. You afraid of death? You afraid of death? You a Christian? If you're a Christian, I don't think you're afraid of death, but if you're not a Christian, I'm sure you're afraid of death, and that you'll compromise anything you believe in, and that you'll do whatever anyone says just to live a little longer. You want to live in a world like that? Where you're being led around like cattle from camp to camp because of Ebola, and because of martial law, and because of civil unrest? You want to live in a world like that, huh? Don't do anything then, and you will see that world. Guarantee you, my friend. When I was 5 years old, I knew that there was going to be a one world government, one world economy, and one world religion. How did I know that when I was 5 years old? There's a book. There's a book that tells you. Figure it out. Last Chance. Savage, the author of 6 New York Times bestsellers, said he had no financial or personal need to write another book. His aim, he said, is to warn the nation that the midterm election 1 month from now is the only realistic opportunity to stop Obama. After 29 books, I don't need another bestseller, he told WND. What I need is the last chance to change the course of human events. I am praying that the people awaken before the election in November. Though he described the Republican Party as tepid, Savage said they're the only chance we have. Well, yeah. If every Democrat, socialist, Islamist is fired, and the Republicans take the Senate, we can lobby the Republican Party through town hall meetings, he said. We can shake them up and make them do what needs to be done. The Democrats, on the other hand, Savage said, are absolutely immune to any lobbying whatsoever, pointing to the House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi as a chief example. Are you telling me she is going to listen to the average American about saving the country, he asked. Of course not. Savage sees the 300-plus referenced pages of his book as a blueprint for impeachment. I did what the whole Republican Party should have been doing for the last year, he said. You take this book and slap it down in Congress. Here's the grounds for impeachment. In this blueprint, that's why I want everyone to read the thing, he said. Spiritual disease. Savage told WND he was invited to give a few words before the beginning of a Yom Kippur service at a synagogue. He said he told the large Jewish audience the world is coming apart at the seams and people offer many explanations for what is happening. Savage asked, when America was ruled by practicing Christian presidents, wasn't the world a safer place? He said silence came over the audience. They heard me, he said. I didn't have to say that we have an atheist, communist, socialist, anarchist in the White House. All I said is that when we had a practicing Christian in the White House, the world was a safer place. I said there's a spiritual disease that we're suffering from, and America put this man in there, and the world is falling apart as a result. And I'm going to point out one very good point about Barack Obama right now that even the most argumentative, stiff-necked, stubborn person cannot deny. Obama said that the ISIS militants are not fighting a religious war. How stupid are you if you believe that? You know what I mean? Are you really that stupid to believe that? The government thinks you're that stupid that they can lie to you that easily. That's the truth. They talk to you like you're 3 years old on the cable news, man. They're like, the way that I see it, like if I painted an allegory, is like how you jingle keys over a little baby and they get, excited over it. That's what the news does to you. They jingle keys over you and you go, ha ha ha. They distract you so easily, don't they? Because they have business suits and they put on these grins and they're just... But you guys, man, I hope you guys wake up, because you don't have a choice, man. You either wake up or you die. This isn't a game, man. I don't get any satisfaction or pleasure out of saying that. I'm just being real with you, man. And I do it out of love, man, and I do it sincerely. So if you guys check out my channel, man, and you like it, go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be posting more articles of news up on this channel today. So God bless you. We got to save this country, yo.